Well, welcome back to Dunkirk Dunes. It's been a while since we've had an update here on our BBR5 game with Monk, Brother Pius. And also, I myself am playing. I'm playing all the Allied nations. And John Hoffman is Brother Pius's teammate, and they are playing the Axis. But they have now gone ahead, and we're back into this. And Japan has gone ahead and made their turn 2 moves. So I'm going to go ahead and recap what Japan has done. So Japan had, I think it was 43 to spend, and they've spent all of it. And here's what they've gotten with it. They spent 4 to advance their tech, 7 on a transport, 21 on 3 tanks and an infantry, and then 11 for 2 artillery and an infantry. And then as far as attacks go, so this is an interesting turn. Japan has attacked, I think, 5 different places here. So here's what they've done. I've kind of laid these out with color-coded arrows. So they took this transport that starts out here in C-Zone 6, grabbed 2 infantry off of Japan. Let me just back this up. You can see, grabbed 2 of these infantry and moved this transport up here into C-Zone 5, where they've unloaded into Siberia. And so they have made their attack on the Soviets here. And see, this is going to be interesting. In addition to that, they have gone ahead, and the 4 infantry that are in Korea, they have moved up unopposed and attacked Amur. And this breaks the Soviet-Mongolian Pact. So that's, you know, that the effect of that is that all of these units here in Mongolia become Soviet. So in addition to that, they have also elected to attack this particular Mongolian territory here, the Dornogobi. So what they've done for that attack, this is the one I've color-coded green. The 5 infantry in Manchuria have come in. This 1 fighter that is in Korea, he's come in, and he's got 2 left in his gas gauge. And then in addition to that, all of these planes here that start out in Tokyo, so the 2 fighters and the 2 tacticals, those, I've also color-coded them here with green arrows. They have also gone over to the battle in Dornogobi. So all of this is attacking those 2 poor cavalry that are in Dornogobi. So all of these planes from Tokyo, they have 1 left in their gas tank. Let's see. Okay, so that is the green battle, and that one actually is going to require some rolling. I'll save that until I do the other non-combat movements here. So 2 other attacks here. So they have elected to attack here Quichao. So the 3 infantry and artillery are going into that battle. And then also this fighter from Guangxi is going into Quichao, and he's got 2 left in his gas gauge there. And then maybe the biggest battle of the bunch, this is the battle for Yunnan. So these 3 infantry from Hunan and the artillery are going into Yunnan, as well as this tank and infantry from Guangxi. They're also going into Yunnan. And then all of these planes, so lots of planes. The 2 strategic bombers from Quangxi. They're going to have 5 left in their gas gauge. The tactical bomber from Quangxi, he's going to have 3 left in his gas gauge. And then all of these, there's 4 fighters and 2 tacticals from Jiangxi. All of those are also going into this battle for Yunnan. Okay, so all of that. And all of these here that came from Jiangxi, they have all got 2 left in their gas gauge. So, get rid of a bunch of these little markers. Okay, and the way these battles went here, so of course the Japanese were victorious, but the Chinese did get some hits. So in the battle for Yunnan, before all these Chinese units here were eliminated, they managed to get 4 hits of their own. And so they've taken 4 Japanese infantry with them. Okay. And then, so what's left is the tank and the artillery. Got that. And then in the battle for Quichao, there were no hits scored by this Chinese infantry. He didn't get as lucky. And then in the battle for Dornogobi, these 2 cavalry, they only defend at a 1 each, but one of them managed to get a hit. And so one of the Japanese infantry was eliminated. Okay. So that's it for combat. We'll go ahead and do part of the non-combat here, and then I'm going to pause it to set up the rest of the non-combat. Let me just remove some of these color code markers here first. Okay, so all of these planes that are in the battle for Dornogobi, they landed in Johol. So they are certainly making a wall of Japanese power here in Johol. Okay, so that takes care of them. And then all of these planes here, all of them have elected to go back to Quangxi. So they're all landing here in Quangxi. Lots of Japanese air power here. Okay, so that takes care of those markers. And that. I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'll set up the rest of the non-combat movements here. Okay, so we're back again. So here's the rest of the non-combat movements. So just put it where I can get it in view. The one transport that's down here in C-Zone 36 is going to move up into C-Zone 20 to join the rest of that fleet. The transport that is in C-Zone 19 is going to move over here to C-Zone 6, grab the infantry and artillery, bring them back, and drop them off in Johol up here. So he's back in C-Zone 19. Transport is. The anti-aircraft gun that's in Manchuria is going to come down to Johol. And then the mechanized infantry that's in Manchuria, he's going to go 1-2 into Anhui. Put these markers away. And then down here in the south, so the 3 infantry and the artillery that are here in Kiangsi are moving down here into Kwangsi. And then the 2 infantry and 2 artillery that are in Kiangsu are moving down into Kiangsi. And I think that takes care of the non-combat movements. So place units, so they can build 3 units on the factory here that's in Shanghai and Kiangsu. So they're building 2 tanks and 1 artillery that are there. And then everything else, so the 2 infantry, the tank and artillery, those are getting built on Tokyo up here. And the brand new transport is going in C-Zone 6. That is it for Japan. So as far as income goes, so they've taken, those 2 territories were 3 from the Soviets. So that moves them up 1, 2, 3. And it moves the Soviets down 3, 1, 2, 3. And then also they've taken from China. So 2 for Quichao, 1 more for Yunnan, so 3 total. So they're going to go up another 3. So 1, 2, 3. They're actually now the same as Soviets, both on 34. And then China goes down 3. 1, 2, 3, down to 7. Okay. And then as far as collecting income, so they're on 34. Plus they get this bonus right here. Not at war with the U.S., haven't attacked French Indochina, haven't annexed Thailand, no unprovoked attacks against the UK or Commonwealth. So they get 44 to spend for next turn. Let me just grab that here. So 40, and then 4. There's 44. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do Disposition of Forces recap. Oh, they also took, of course, Dornogobi, which isn't worth anything on the IPC tracker, but now that is Japanese. Okay. And of course, these Mongolians are now activated. We treat them as if they were Soviet units. They move with the Soviet units. Soviets can do with them whatever they want. So let's go ahead and do recap. So in Siberia, there are 2 infantry. In Amur, there are 4 infantry. Manchuria and Korea are both empty. In Johol, there is 1 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 AAA, 3 fighters, 2 tacticals. In Anhui, there's 1 mechanized infantry. In Kiangsu, so Shanghai, there's 2 tanks and 1 artillery. In Kiangsi, there's 2 infantry and 2 artillery. In Quichao, there are 3 infantry and 1 artillery. In Yunnan, there is a tank and artillery. And then in Kwangsi, there's a gaggle of airplanes here. So there's 3 infantry, 1 artillery, 5 fighters, 3 tactical bombers, and 2 strategic bombers. Okay. Let's see. I think now we can go to the naval units and islands. So in C-Zone 20, there are 2 loaded carriers, each with a fighter and a tactical, 2 cruisers, 2 transports, 1 destroyer, 1 submarine. In C-Zone 19, there is a battleship, a destroyer, a submarine, and the transport. On Okinawa, there's 1 infantry. In C-Zone 6, there is a battleship, a destroyer, and a transport. In Tokyo itself, there are 3 infantry, 3 AAA, 1 artillery, and 1 tank. On Iwo Jima, there's 1 infantry. On Palau, there is 1 infantry. In the Caroline Islands, there's 2 infantry and a AAA. And in Sea Zone 33, there's a loaded carrier with a fighter and a tactical, and a destroyer. And I think that's the entirety of Japan. I think we covered everything. So, on next, in the turn order, here's the turn order. So, after Japan comes US. So it's back to me. US, and then China, and then UK. I got to do all of those. That's what will be coming up next. So thank you for watching. Love your comments below. You know, comment on the strategy you see here. Comment on anything you want. Love to hear your comments. So thank you for watching, and till next time. It's also always fun to highlight some of the painted pieces and whatnot that we've been working on. So these are some 3D printed Japanese battleships that you see here in front of you. These have been painted and decaled by Brother Pius. Both the decals and the 3D printed sculpts, these all come from Axis and Allies BoardGaming.com. But what you're looking at here, so that's a Fuso class battleship. This one here is the same. Another Fuso class. And then these right here, these are Congo class battleships. Different names, you know, the 4 different Congo class battleships. These right here, that one doesn't have a nameplate yet, but these are Nagato class. Let's see there, Nagato class. See if I can get it to focus. There you go, Nagato. And then these last ones here that I have out, these are Icy class. And these are magnetized. And you know, some of them are magnetized in different ways depending on when we produced them. Some of them have some of the newer ones may have magnetized turrets. These particular ones may not have magnetized turrets, but some of the newer stuff that we've been working with does have a magnetized turret. Anyway, hope you enjoy looking at the pieces here and kind of the process and the progress that we've been making as we kind of slowly go through trying to make a more or less historically accurate piece set. So thanks for watching.